Hi everyone, welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about what is a debugger and what is it inside of Visual Studio Code. And I'm going to be using the language Python. If you don't already have Visual Studio Code installed, you can quickly come here to Google, type in Visual Studio Code, come here to the downloads, and then grab the version that you need for your operating system. I'm on a Mac, so I grabbed that one. Okay, now what you're going to do then is you're going to open up Visual Studio Code, and let's go ahead and get our first file. So I'm going to call this main.py because we're doing this in Python. And let's just do something very easy here. Let's make a function, define main, and let's print hello from main. And then we're just going to call main right here. Let's make sure this works. What you can do here is you can open up a terminal right in Visual Studio Code, which I love. It's super handy and easy. You can see there's my file. So we're going to run Python 3 and then main. And there you go. Hello for main. So pretty straightforward. You probably already know how to do that. So let's now talk about a debugger and why that's important. So let's make this a little more interesting. Let's make another function. Call it test1 and print hello from test1, and then let's call it to make sure that works. Okay, hello from main, hello from test1. Okay, all good there. So a debugger, what the purpose of a debugger is to stop your code. So as you know, when you run your program, and the first thing it's going to do is execute main. So it's going to jump up here to main, and it's going to print hello from main, and then it is going to run test1, and then it jumps up here to test1 function, and then prints hello from test, and then you're done. So the best way to show how debugger work is just to show you. So let's come in here, and for example, let's have a variable called foo10, and then foo1 is 20, and then answer is foo plus foo1, and then let's print the answer. Let's give that a run. Okay, so 10 plus 20, 30, pretty easy. Now, it's pretty simple here because this program is pretty easy and straightforward, but what if you had many variables, very complicated, and you didn't want to just print? There's this idea of debugging by printing. So you could have, print here, here. It's all over the place. It's all over your code, printing everything. And that's really, gosh, not an ideal way to do any kind of debugging. So we can actually pause the program and look at variables as they get set. So what we're going to do now is do something called setting a breakpoint. And what you have to do you see when I mouse over here, you get these red dots? That's a breakpoint. Oh, also your windows, this is kind of your Explorer window of your files. This is do searching, there's extensions here, and then you've got this one, debug. Okay, so now we're ready to set this breakpoint and execute the debugger. So what we're going to do is come over here. You can see here, this is kind of the run, like play. And so you can run it, and now you have a new option here, debug. So let's go ahead and click debug and see what happens. Okay, the moment you see this yellowish piece here, and it's broken here, so it hit our breakpoint that we had called. And you're going to get a few other options up here. So this means continue. So think of like a CD player. This is like the play button. This here is step over. So if this was actually calling a function, this would step over. The debugger would jump into the function, run the function, and then come back and then step over that function. This would be step into the function. So if your code is sitting at a function and it's about to call that function, it would go into it. And this would be step out of the function. This is reset, and this is stop. Now you have another little window over here for global variables and then locals. So right now we don't have any. So let's go ahead and step this code. Oh, you can also kind of hover over things in the debugger window. So let's go ahead and step this code. So let's step over. Okay, do you see how foo is 10? And if I hover over it, it tells me it's 10. And then also, you see locals 10 has been defined for foo. And you're probably guessing what will happen next. If you do foo1, step over. Foo1 is 20, and then it's going to assign answer to 30. And then if you just continue, it will exit as is, and that great information there just kind of goes away because you're done with that debugging section. Now, what is this good for? So let's say your function is pretty complicated, and we're not going to make it too complicated. So let's do this. For I in range 20, we're going to do some stuff. So let's do foo again. Foo equals 10, and then foo plus answer equals foo plus I, and then we can print the answer. So that's going to print a lot, right? So let's go ahead and remove that, and let's just run as we had it. And obviously it's printing those numbers all over the place. If you don't, this is again the idea of printing, debugging by printing, which is just not ideal. So what we're going to do now is just set a breakpoint here, and let's start debugging. And I'll actually set it there. So now we can come up here and hit debug. The debugger starts, and there's all of our nice variables. So answer is 10, and now we're going to hit the play, and it'll go, the play is going to loop up here, do our for loop again, and come back to this every time. So if I just hit continue, boom, 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 you see that it is increasing every time. I is increasing, and then also 13. And then if we step, we could step as well. So step, 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 and you can see everything is changing and increasing. Now, another cool thing here I wanted to show you is watch, the watch window. You can define what variable that you want to watch. So if we enter foo, now pretend this is like huge. You could have many local variables, a lot of global variables. This can get pretty confusing up here, but you can define things that you want to watch. This is called the watch window. So let's do some more here. Okay, so foo1, it doesn't know what it is. And you know why? Because foo1 hasn't been defined yet. It's here. Now, because we're in this function test1, let's actually step out of test1. And any guesses where it'll go? Okay, because we've called test1, we're in here working. If we step out, it's going to actually come out of the function. Boom. So it now has stepped out of test1, and test1's already done all of its work. All those variables kind of go away because they're local to this function. And now we're going to keep going. And foo, and there's foo again. And there was, I did pretty bad here because I used the same variable names, but you can see if we had used different names, they'd be different. Anyway, that's kind of in a nutshell how debuggers work. They're super helpful. And hopefully as you begin writing your first programs, you can actually use the debugger to really understand how your variables are changing. Thank you.